Good afternoon, welcome to Showbiz Now here at the 12 o'clock bulletin where we get to sit for 30 minutes and talk about entertainment issues here in GH. First afternoon, we open up the conversation on the cathedral and whether people actually thought that it would have been better for us to have maybe, just maybe, theaters instead of that. Now, the arts people are not too happy about it. We want to open the conversation up. Now, choosing the cathedral over the theaters for creative industry is what we want to take a look at now. Now, Ghana may be one of the most religious countries in the world, no two ways about it. Now, despite being constitutionally secular, but a project to build a new national cathedral has not met universal approval. Now, plans for the building designed by the Ghanaian British architect David Ajayi and to be located on some 6 hectares, 14 acres near Accra's Parliament were unveiled earlier this year. Now, designs showed landscaped gardens and a concave structure housing a chapel, baptistry, and a 5,000-seat auditorium, as well as Africa's first Bible museum and documentation center. Now, the building is intended to be a house of prayer for all people and will host state occasions which are usually held at Independence Square or the president's official residence. Reaction has been mixed, with calls for the money to be better spent elsewhere.
Deeply grateful to the distinguished Board of Trustees and the eminent clergy and the Secretariat of the Cathedral Project for working around the clock to make this possible. What has distinguished the great cathedrals and those with a national character is the broad mobilization of the entire community in support of the building and maintenance of the cathedrals. Before the cathedrals, this was true of the temples and the tabernacle. On Sunday, the 25th of February this year, I visited the Washington National Cathedral to go and worship, and was reminded once again of this truth. The challenge of building Ghana's national cathedral, therefore, relates to the mobilization of our people in support of the project. The broad representation of the Ghanaian Christian community at this event shows the emergence of a national coalition that will arise and build the cathedral to the glory of God. I was told by the priests of the Washington National Cathedral that it took 83 years to complete. I'm confident that Almighty God will enable us to build ours in a short time.
And that was the President, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Now, the President also promised to build 3 multi-purpose theaters in Tamale, Kumasi, and Takrady, saying the lack of theater facilities across the country is an omission in our artistic and cultural infrastructure. His Excellency spoke at the 10th anniversary of Ghana International School's annual drama night last year and said plans have been put in place to promote literary arts. Now, he also said local authorship will be given the necessary support. Now, he says we are committed to building multi-purpose theaters in Takrady, Kumasi, and Tamale. It is sad that it has taken this long, but we should make a good this serious omission in our artistic and cultural infrastructure. He said, he continued, my government has put in place plans to promote the literary arts by encouraging our writers and publishers to produce books that portray rich culture. Today, the most beautiful books on Ghana's culture are predominantly written by foreigners or published abroad. We intend to support the book industry and promote local authorship. Touching on the music industry, the President said the industry will be given the necessary support. In addition, he promised strict enforcement of the piracy law. The music industry is also going to be given a boost to meet its potential. We will also source support and also enforce priority piracy law for the industry to promote our musicians, he also said. Now, Shelley Ayoko-Botry, the then chairperson of the Tourism and Creative Arts Committee in 2016, before the election, had this also to say concerning the creative industry.
Make available funds to modernize and develop the sector, and we will establish a creative arts fund. 2. Nothing demoralizes a creative arts professional more than when their intellectual property is stolen and misused with no consequences for the copyright thief. The NPP will collaborate with the Chief Justice to create a division of the High Court instead of the current Copyright Tribunal, with focus on the creative arts to deal with all matters relating to intellectual property rights, complete with a dedicated enforcement unit and not the current 4-man anti-piracy police team. 3, we will provide an effective interface with government and other key stakeholders. The MPP will properly establish a Creative Arts Council to coordinate and harmonize the various interests and fragmented associations into a well-functioning body to represent and protect the interests of its members. 4, we will educate the public on copyright laws and provide the necessary framework for payment of appropriate royalties for creative works. The MPP will collaborate with private sector interests to acquire the technology and equipment needed to log creative works in order to determine true and deserved royalties. We will pursue the construction of modern large-seating theaters in every regional capital, beginning with Accra, Takoradi, Tamale, and Kumasi.
Now, the Deputy Tourism and Creative Arts Minister, however, has said that they did not promise to build theaters in every region.
November, we're going to do NAFAC in Koforidua, and you're going to see the first national regional theater being opened in Koforidua. When we said regional theaters, we were not alluding to the fact that we are going to start from scratch. All across the country, we have the art center projects coming up, so regional art centers. Some of them have reached stages 70%, 80%, and so we just have to come and complete them. There are some regions where we have to start from scratch, the old ones, we have to pull them down. But I can say that by November, we are working very hard with finance to get some money to finish the one in Koforidua. So that should be done by November, because we're going to do NAFAC, so that should be ready. And we have promised the president that we want him to come and address the whole nation and the whole world from that venue.
And so we are sure that by the time 2020,
by the time 2020, we will not have 10 regional theaters complete, but at least we'll have close to 5 or 6. Done. At least Koforidua, Tamale is coming up, I think Western region and Cape Coast. And I think Kumasi will do some work.
And that was Deputy Tourism, Arts and Culture Minister Dr. Zablem actually speaking to my colleague Ms. G over there, and also emphasizing on the fact that they never promised to build theaters across the country. Now, if you're actually listening, viewing this very moment, we have a very serious conversation that we're just about having. And let me also try as much as possible and let the understanding on this actually be very clear. And the fact that nobody's against any building of cathedral. Now, that is not the conversation we're trying to open up over here, but we're trying to juxtapose that to the promises they made to the industry and the fact that they needed to put all things in place to ensure that we have our industry, as in the creative arts industry, actually moving. Now, is it a choice of putting that first before we even think about looking at whether we want to put theaters for the industry? Now, the Deputy Minister is saying that that is not what actually they said, but you all saw from the video we just played that indeed they promised to put that in place. Whether it's going to happen or not, we want to open up that conversation and see what happens. You can join us on our social media pages, on our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It's Joy Prime Official on Facebook and Instagram. When you go on Twitter, it's Real Joy Prime. That's where you can connect with us. Follow us and be part of the conversation. You can also follow me personally, KMJ on air on Twitter and Instagram as well. In the studio to help me do the conversation this afternoon, well, you also get to be part of it later on when we open the phone lines, is the man Ola Michael. He's a film producer, he's an executive producer as well, and he's a pundit, and he's been an art person for a very long time, and most of you know on radio, television, and he's here with me, Swag. Ola, it's good to have you here in the studio of Showbiz Now. It's the first time here. How are you feeling?
I feel very comfortable, but very disappointed because of, I mean, you've done very well by just opposing the two, the promise and then the deliveries together. For everybody to know that we are living in a time where people just lie their way through to power. And when they get into power, they get confused. They don't know what to do again.
Is this also another neglect by the president, as it were. We've actually been campaigning or been pushing the president to put structures for us for a very long time. Looking at the fact that people have now seen that there's a cathedral that is coming through that is going to cost lots and lots of money. You think that this is the point where we have to say that maybe, just maybe, we thought other sectors were important, that the religious part is also more important than the art industry?
KMG, we have so many religious, sects in the country. Even in the Christendom, there are lots of them, and everybody seems to be having their own church buildings and stuff like that. Kodesh, Kodesh has got over thousands of sitting capacity.
ICGC has a very large capacity as well.
Bishop Duncan Williams
exactly.
Church. All these churches
also has a very large capacity.
So
Presdom,
it becomes
large capacity.
Perez, very, very beautiful edifice. So it becomes very, interesting when you hear a president of such a nation telling you, oh, we are going to spend money to build a cathedral, a national cathedral. And you ask them, who is going to occupy that? Because all the churches, they are building their own. The Catholics, they have their own. The Anglicans have their own. Everybody's got their own. So what really is the use of that cathedral?
Misplaced priority?
I think it's about not knowing what to do, and you decide, okay, let me do something to please certain people, and then you forget that the rest.
So this is an intention to please the religious people.
to please the Christians,
because they're going to vote
because
again.
he believed that they are about the 70% of our population. So when he does that, maybe he might get it. But trust me, it won't work, because most of these Christians have got churches. The churches have got their own church rooms and buildings, and some are even bigger. There's a church at I've forgotten the place. It's very far. Prophet Sarkodie Nasai Sarkodie. Huge land. One church. Huge land. Now he's building about 10,000 or 20,000 capacity church, almost done. That will be bigger than your cathedral. So what is the point?
So this could have been invested into the arts.
If you build about 10,000 seating, theater, can't you do anything you want to do in that cathedral there? You can't do it. You can. I mean, don't people have church events and stuff at National Theatre, 1,200 or so? So build a 5,000, build a 10,000, and you can have the same purpose. It's all because maybe, you like I said, you want to get into power with no plan. You get into power and anything that comes to your mind, oh, let's do this, forgetting the real promises you gave the people. Now, look at the deputy minister.
It says they never made any promise like that.
Look at the deputy minister. Confused. Totally confused. He doesn't even know what he promised. Maybe he should have watched Honorable Aiko Boche's video and then refresh himself. Oh, so those times when she was saying that, where was I? You were a deputy minister. The purpose of the manifesto is that when you come in power, that is your manual you work with. About 13 points that you wanted to do for the industry. This is your manual. And you don't even know what is in the manual. So what are you doing in the ministry? Just taking salary and just, moving on, traveling to Nigeria to go and watch awards. Really?
Is it a disappointment at this stage? Do you think that we should probably even be thinking about focusing on our own thing and then forget about the government?
I've always said that, look, politicians cannot help our industry. But we need to push them, show them what to do, and then we have to take that leadership role. Just give us the support and we will do our thing. Because they don't understand you, KMG. They don't understand me. By now, they are thinking of certain budgets where certain monies are going to come from. And all
but the president periodically actually shows interest by connecting with some of these guys in terms of what they are doing and how he sees them from where he sits.
When we're growing up, you see a girl and you want to talk to the girl, like you want to get a girl to be interested in your stuff like that. We say, lie. L-I-E. I'm going to lie to her to like me.
Is that what the president is doing to the art industry?
That he started doing it before he came into power, and he's still doing it. That thing you reproduced for last year, I've read it. Fantastic points. On the book is beautiful. But where is the action? Nothing. Because the moment he leaves that venue, that speech he read, somebody wrote it for him. The moment he leaves there, he doesn't even remember what he said there. That is politics. So it's up to us, like, okay, you said this here. This is it. How do we do it? Nobody will do that, because even the people they appointed from their own sector, they are not even giving them the platform to work. Look at Michael Krekumanti. He doesn't even know.
The president of the Creative Council.
Where's the Creative Council? The council, the president, his own daughter, who was part of it, just left. I mean, she just left because she realized there was nothing to be done there. Now, Bibi Bright, is that her name, Bibi Bright?
Yeah, Bibi Bright and Black Coffee
supposed
also.
To be,
Black Coffee also.
No, Black Coffee was not part of the Creative Council. Bibi Bright was supposed to be the secretary. Now she's gone to give birth. She's enjoying her marriage. Leaving Mark alone. How can he run the office? Go to the office, it's closed down. Nobody goes there.
Is that what is happening there?
That's what's happening. Socrates' office, they've taken the office from him.
To where?
And they say you should go and look for a different office. They're giving a small one. He's not even ready to occupy that one because he was first appointed as the executive secretary or whatever, the executive director for National Commission on Culture. Then later we heard another woman has come. So Socrates, they have to create a portfolio for him. And then later on, now they've taken his office from him. Where is he supposed to work from? This is what we are facing now. They don't take us serious. They don't even know what to do with us. That's how I'm seeing it.
But if you look at it vis-a-vis the cathedral that we're talking about right now, in terms of the fact that you believe the president actually wants to gather some, following from there because of the 70%, shareholding of Christian and all. If you look at it from that angle, too, wouldn't you say that indeed the likes of Shatawale, Stonebwoy, Sarkodie, who else again? I mean, all these guys have a large following. Can the president also think about that? The fact that he might just get some votes from there, so he should concentrate on the arts to make it happen.
No, he will when he's getting closer to campaign time.
But not now.
Not now. Now we are not part of his thinking. And it's not just the president, because look, the president cannot think everybody's interest in the country. That's why he appoints ministers.
Okay.
So when you think the president is failing, you also have to think that the minister is failing the president.
Okay.
You understand? Because she has been appointed to do this work. The president cannot do the work at the Creative Arts Ministry and then go and do the work at Finance Ministry. No, that's why he appoints people. Before they came, they said they have the man. And this is the man, confused man. Listen to what he said to Attractive Mustafa. Listen to what he said to Miss G. Confused man. He's talking about having a conference center like they saw in Nigeria. And now he's confused, saying that by 2020 you have about 5 theaters. You tell Attractive, you didn't say you will build theaters, but you say you will encourage theater performance. Confused man. He doesn't even know what he's doing in that office. And then he's still there. He will be there till 2020. You understand?
Yeah.
It tells you that this whole NPP thing was just a lie to get people to vote for them. It really, really did not mean what they said.
Is it also a fact that maybe there's more time for other things to be done? So let's put our priorities first. We need to worship God, and so let's put the cathedral in, and then later on we'll know how to deal with the arts.
It's interesting.
If the minister actually knows about all of this.
UNESCO did a survey for developing countries in 2015, trying to know which of the industries in these developing countries that can help reduce unemployment. And the industry that stood first was creative industry.
That is overall, or in Ghana here, or where exactly?
Worldwide.
Worldwide.
For developing countries. Creative industries. Why? I don't need to go to school to have my master's before I can come and do music. Kwame Eugene and the rest who are shining now, have they gone to university to study music? They are not dependent on the government. They have created jobs for themselves. You have created a job for yourself. You understand? I have created one for myself, employing a few people to work with. You understand? I don't depend on the government. So this is a sector where you have to focus your attention on, because they will reduce the pressure on you. That is what UNESCO advised, that look, for developing countries, you need to invest in your creative industries, because these are the people that can reduce pressure of unemployment on you. But they don't know. They don't know. The trade ministry will go attend these things, sign all the treaties, and then they come back and put it on the shelf. They don't even discuss it with anybody. You have to now struggle to go through UNESCO site and know that, oh, so we signed this thing like last year, and we don't even know about it. We have signed so many treaties, we don't even know what the treaties are supposed to do. Some of the treaties are supposed to help us so that you and I, when we are traveling to perform in abroad, we shouldn't go through hassle at the embassies. All we need to do is to just show this treaty to them that this is a treaty we've signed with the European Union. So why are you hassling us? Because we call it intangible cultures. When I go to sing, I'm selling my intangible culture, something I cannot hold, but it's a culture that I live with, and I'm telling you. That is why when I went to the Indian embassy some time ago, and the man was all about, we have contents that you can give for free. You have TV station or content buyers, you can give it for free to show on TV. And I'm like, hello, how many times have you said this to me in about 30 minutes of our meeting? Everybody is using their culture as a way to get to you. And we are here sitting and accepting everything, not doing anything for the people who can even do it on their own. So, KMV, let's accept me for now. I think every person in this creative industry should be just put your hands on your head and know that.
Okay, that is Ola Michael here with me on Showbiz Now on Joy Prime. If you just tuned in, very good afternoon to you. Welcome to the show. Now it's time for us to also hear your thoughts and your contributions on the show. The telephone lines is on the screen. That you can give us a call 0302211698699. Those are numbers you can call us on and let us know what you have to say about it. And well, I saw a post on Twitter, I think last night, by Sadiq Obama, and interestingly, very, very interesting stuff. You know, the China meeting of head of states and all of that our African presidents have actually gone. You know, there's a delegation from China and there's a delegation from Africa, and when the chairman is talking, the delegation from the other countries are actually taking notes, but the delegation from Africa are all seated down and playing with their phones. And,
they are taking notes with their phone.
It's very interesting. Some are writing notes on notebooks, and others are actually there. And whether they are playing game or whatever it is, and that's very interesting stuff that I read yesterday on social media, Twitter. But you can let us know what you think on the show here on Showbiz. Now we're talking about Cathedral. We're talking about art industry. What exactly is happening? Hello, Dorothy. Are you there? Oh boy. Forgive me. You can call us back. Let us know what you think. And when you call, please try and lower the volume on your television set. And next person is on. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, boss. How are you doing?
Hello?
Hello. Can you lower the volume on your television set so you can hear me well?
Okay.
Put it off if you want, and then you can hear me well. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I want to contribute to the program.
Please go ahead.
Oh, okay. About the cathedral. I think the intention is very good.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. I mean, we can discuss it. But then to rubbish it, I don't think it is proper. Okay. That is the president's decision. He thinks he wants to build this for the nation. And as a matter of fact, he stated clearly that it's not. The money is not from the government. I believe that is what I heard. So, and I was expecting at least one deputy man should be around to also share his view than to call Oli Ola and then open file like that. I think it's not fair. Next time, I wish you could also invite.
Ola didn't come in the capacity of any political party. Actually, he came here as a pundit of the art industry.
I know.
So if he has been biased in certain ways, it's not the intention.
I know where Ola
okay. All right. Well, many thanks for your contribution this afternoon. We appreciate it. And you can also give us a call. Let us know what you think. And all the way from Kumasi. Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Yes, please, your name.
My name is Kaya.
Okay, go ahead.
Ola has talked very well. I think in everything there should be an entertainment. We can't pray all our life, and we've been praying. It's not the cathedral that will make us pray or worship God. So we have to sometimes entertain. Now, the entertainment industry is, it has to be concerned with that too.
Okay.
But our artists are struggling. I swear, it's not easy to even have a hit. So, well talk, Ola.
Okay. All right, many thanks, and thanks for calling in. Hillary is on. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, boss. How are you doing, sir?
I'm fine, sir.
All right, go ahead.
Please. My thought on the.
Can you put the television off so you can hear me clearly and talk to me?
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
My thought on the distance is, it's true that we've been praying for long, and it's not the cathedral that will make us pray. So if we should have had like a theater that can take even the whole Ghana. But the entertainment is better.
Okay.
Because, like, the president, he should just look at it like the entertainment side can make him win his 2020 election. Because we have many fans following Sarkodie, Shatawale, Stoneboy, and Co.
Okay.
So, like, if he should just look at the entertainment side and give us a theater that is more than the current National Theatre. Okay. All right. Many thanks. Your point is well made. Thanks. And this one is from Harry Righteous, and it says, yes, that's very true. We always have to check on them in order for them to speed up developmental projects. Showbiz Now #. Larry is on.
Labi is on. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, talk to me, sir.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that it's very good. The way your guy is talking is very
Ola Michael, not the guy. Ola Michael, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Ola Michael.
Yeah, that's okay.
See, the building where we worship God, we now people even worship God in stores. If you're walking the roadside, you see people even worship God in stores. So the cathedral is not like something like the only thing or only place that we can worship God. You see, now the people, God wants the people, His people to be free. Okay, God wants us to live where we will not be struggling, crying every day on those stuff. So God has given you some mandate for you to do to the people or for the people so that they can be free. Okay, there's a lot of people in the church now that they are crying, they are dying in poverty.
Okay.
So the cathedral is not that, although I'm a pastor, but I think that it should build something where we can do everything. We can come to do everything. Now they are putting that name cathedral on it. Where
going there to play jams will be a problem then.
Yeah. Apart from, they won't give chance for you to do anything. But if they are doing something like National Theatre or even today, we are watching our stadium. This December, you see people going to stadium doing a lot of things there. So it means that it should do something that to benefit Ghanaians, not something that to benefit some people.
Okay.
Because as we are talking now, it's not everybody that goes to church, right?
Yeah.
So it means that this cathedral will not benefit some of the people.
Okay.
But here, you are present for all the people.
Okay, sir. Your point is well made. Many thanks. Justine is on. Justine. Hello, Justine. Hello. Oh, boy. We lost you over there. Let me see. This one says, it is up to us to hold politicians accountable. Ola Michael, #Showbiz Now. All right, so accountability coming inside right now.
Yeah, because it's...
But haven't we done that enough?
No, it's not. The way we treat issues about Sakude, issues about Shatawale, Stoneboy, and the rest, that's not how we have treated important issues as this. You know, somebody has promised you all this litany of promises, and you don't even sit down. You don't even hear people talk about when are we doing this, when are we doing that. Among that particular, paragraph of building modern last sitting theaters, the last sentence said they will open the copyright office in Tamale.
Yeah.
How much does it take to open an office in Tamale? Give me 5,000 Ghana cedis, I'll open that office.
Are you serious?
I'm telling you. Give me 5,000, I'll open that office. That's
just peanuts.
It means they don't even know what they promise. Putting up an office for copyright doesn't mean you should put a whole edifice. In Kumasi, they were occupying that small room, but they were working effectively. If you want it in Tamale, why not? Let's even talk to Xylophone. Their office in Tamale is not fully occupied. They can give you office rooms to work with. It's just that they just don't care. They just promised and left it. And then we got too excited about the promises and voted them in power. Now they said, oh, forget about these people. When we are getting closer to election, we pay attention to them. They gave you a minister and she's like, oh, forget the creative arts. I don't even know what to do with them. But as for tourism, I'll be traveling. Tourism will bring us money.
That isn't exactly what she said. I mean, maybe she's
by your actions, you're able to deduce what really your intentions are. By your actions, go to the creative arts, the ministry, and ask if there's a creative arts desk or creative industry desk. There's none. But everything there, 90% is tourism. 90% is tourism. That's why she's doing everything tourism and not really the creative industry or culture. You understand? But the NCC outfit was supposed to take care of the culture, which is something that is also important to her. That's why the cultural policy was drafted, for them to, make sure it works within our society. But what about the creative industry? Nothing.
Yesterday, I had a look at the cultural policy. Now, I want to take time and read it today, hopefully from Mel, and then maybe we'll have a discussion. Mel is going to be on the show tomorrow for us to actually take a look at the cultural policy. I think maybe, just maybe, if we take a look at that, it will help us.
No, I can even give you the soft copy.
Yeah, so that I want to,
But look, it is
tomorrow we'll want to have a discussion on that.
It is just a policy, an idea of a government that was in power in 2005. Any government that comes after will decide, okay, I'm not really interested in this idea, because it's not law, it's a policy. So if you want something very tangible that people cannot push it into law.
So just a little push will get us
to make it a law. But do you need a cultural law? You need a creative industry law. It takes care everything creative industry. Look, all over the world, we call it creative and cultural industries.
Bro, many thanks for coming through on the show. Seriously, I know you're very, very passionate about this, man. Well, folks, that'll be all for now. God willing, tomorrow we're back again. Many thanks to you for watching, and to the production team, incredible team. God bless you guys. My name is KMJ. I was born to talk, and of course, it's been a profitable 30 minutes.